affiliate marketing? Do you need funnels? Do you need email marketing? What do you actually need in order to get started? Do you need all this techie stuff? Because I'm a technophobe. So this might seem a little bit ironic given that someone that's just won the ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club Award recently, but you don't actually need a funnel to get started. And in fact, I do the bulk of what I do without any need for technology whatsoever. So in this video, what I'm going to do is show you guys a couple of ways that you can actually get started without the tech. And as you move through this process, what you'll find is you automatically will start adding those layers of technology to your business as you go through. It's just the cycle of things. So before I get into that though, this is the first time here. Welcome. My name's Jamie. I'm a full-time affiliate marketer, digital ad strategist. I'm also a coach for a program, got over 600 students at the time of recording, absolutely smashing it with their affiliate marketing business. If you'd like to learn more about what I'm up to and how I can potentially help you absolutely kill your goals this year and beyond, I'm going to leave a link below this video. You're welcome to check that out and see if that's of interest to yourself. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. I must admit I'm using this new streaming software. It's called Haps. It's pretty cool. For those of you that are on my YouTube channel at the moment, feel free to check it out as well, haps.tv. I'm going to leave a link below. And if you sign up and you do start putting out broadcasts, you can actually earn coins and dollars and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty cool. So anyway, this is all fairly new to me. So I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. And I'm going to go through a couple of things and a couple of things that you need to decide before you even get to that point as well. So let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. Hopefully got this working. All right, so far so good. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to show my little old face up here as well. No, that just changes. Okay, so this one's there. Okay, sorry, folks. Like I say, I'm a technophobe. That's not what I want. Let's do this one instead. There we go. That should be priority number one. Yes. Okay, we're cool. All right, so here we go. Now, this beautiful piece of artistry here is a representation of the two pathways you can go down. Now, on part A, you've got a personal brand, and that is doing things like putting out YouTube content, Facebook group, Instagram, creating a blog, all that sort of stuff. Sorry, no, not creating a blog. You can actually, although that can be personal brand, but it doesn't have to. Anyway, just enough of that. So essentially, you can do organic methods or you can do paid. Having done this for around about a decade and having seen people like Grant Cardone and Gary Vee and all that sort of stuff, from my experience, building a personal brand is the most efficient way of building an income online, because you get to connect with your audience, you get to communicate, you get to show a bit of your personality. Some people are going to resonate with your messaging. Some people are not going to resonate with your messaging, and that's completely fine. It's all part of it, right? On the other side of that, you've also got anonymous ways of building an income online. That's like things like building a blog. Believe it or not, you can actually create a YouTube channel and be anonymous. And the way that you do that is you use Creative Commons. That's a story for another time. It's pretty, I guess, beyond the realms of my expertise, to be honest. I'm just familiar with that as a potential pathway you can go down as well. The pros of doing that, you can build up passive income. Or at least almost passive income. You're still going to have to maintain your channel, still going to have to maintain your blogs, still going to have to backlink and all that sort of stuff if you're doing SEO, but there is an element of passivity to it. The cons are it's largely out of your control in terms of whether Google decides to rank your content or not. Now, understand that there'll be people that will argue black and blue with me, and I don't disagree with them, to be upfront. I think that blogging is still an amazing way of building an income online. From my experience, it took a long time, a lot of dedication. I'm not saying that personal branding doesn't, but I found it a little less efficient because it's more of a bit of a Hail Mary in some regards. That was my take on it anyway. Having said that, and not to sound too contradictory, but there will be a point in time when I will probably look to go back to blogging at some stage as well, just to build that next layer on my business. But like I say, if you're getting started, most efficient way is definitely a personal brand from my experience. So the argument often comes into play of what's better, high ticket or low ticket or recurring. And so I'm going to give you a bit of an example here. And unfortunately, these little slides are a little bit out of sync at the moment. And you have to forgive my lack of artistry in terms of my drawing ability here. But basically, from my own experience and from that of my students, going with high ticket affiliate marketing is the quickest way to hit your income goals. So if you look at, for argument's sake, everyone seems to be chasing this magic number of 10 grand per month, which is a great figure to hit, by the way. So the reality is, though, that if you're selling something for $100, you're going to need 100 customers each and every month in order to hit $10,000. Conversely, if you're selling something where you're making $1,000 per sale, you're only going to need 10 people to sign up. It is a lot quicker. It's a lot more efficient. And then, of course, if you go with the low ticket, you're going to get a higher conversion volume. But the problem is that the lifetime value of your customers, by and large, there's outliers to every rule, of course, are going to be minimal. And so what I mean by that is, and I think I've got another slide for this. Let me just confirm that. Okay, that's not it. Here we go. So if you look at, like I say, your goal, 10 grand per month, you can either sell 1,000 $10 products or 10 $1,000 products. So then, like I say, the lifetime value is not that great. A lot of people think, oh, I want passive income. I just want to do the work once and sell once and then, get passive income for life and recurring income, blah, blah, which is all well and good as well, by the way. But it's not really passive because the lifetime value. So to put it into context, if you're selling something where you're making about $40 per month on a recurring basis, which that would mean, the products say $100 and you're getting 40% commission per month, it means that in order for someone to have the same lifetime value to you as one single high ticket sale where you get $1,000 plus per sale, they would have to stay with that product for 25 months, over 2 years, in order to equate to one high ticket sale. And that's a long time. That's an outlier. Most people are, when they sign up for a lot of these things, they might stay for between 1 and 5 months, seems to be my experience. And again, like I say, there's outliers. I personally have been with one of the software companies I'm with, been with them since like 2017. So there are outliers to that, but they are exceptions, not the rule. So the reality is, though, and not many people are going to tell you this, but when you're doing organic marketing, it's hard. That first stretch that you go through is the toughest part. So on one hand, you might not make a sale on Monday, you might not make a sale on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, but then Friday finally rolls around and you make a high ticket sale. You made $1,000. Woohoo, good stuff. But then the conversation then turns to, okay, well, if you're making $1,000 on the Friday, well, what do you do in the other days? And this is where you have an offset product. So this is where you balance out your portfolio with the recurring billing softwares and memberships and things like that, with the low ticket stuff that pay $100 or whatever. And so that way, over the course of a month, now you've got a more balanced income stream. So you've got the low ticket, you've got the consistent cash flow in your business. You've also got the high ticket stuff as well. Pretty cool stuff. Right. What else we got? Okay. Now I must confess, this was actually done for a coaching student of mine some time ago. And I thought that you guys would get a bit of benefit out of it as well. So if you're wanting to avoid all the technology, you don't want to get into funnels, things like that, I know for myself that when I actually discarded a lot of this stuff, that's when I started getting a ton of traction in my business. In fact, and I'm not saying get rid of all your technology by any means, don't think that for a moment, but when I concentrated on simple steps, that's when things really took off for me. And I was able to have my first $1,000 day within 7 days, have my next one the next day, and I later hit my first $10,000 month. And that was because I was concentrating on just simple stuff. And if anyone's familiar with the philosophical principle Occam's razor, the whole idea of that is the simplest option is more often the best. Okay, so what you can do in terms of creating a personal brand, now you don't necessarily need to be like the next Kardashian or anything of that nature. It's literally just having, a small brand that people relate to, that you're able to share a little bit of your life with, and hopefully help a few people out along the way, and be able to make sales off the back of that. So first and foremost, clean up your profile. For me, I had an illustrious youth, had to remove a lot of my drunken nights out and things like that. So the idea behind that is you've got to look at what perception you're giving off. Is it something that is professional? Would someone want to do business with you? Now, I'm not saying remove every single photo of yourself by any means. What I mean is have a consideration about if you're a conspiracy theorist, how does that look? Would someone want to do business with you based on that? And if you truly believe in all that stuff and you want to go down that path, then fill your boots, but just have a consideration. So what I did, I removed a lot of the stuff that I didn't think was serving me anymore, untagged myself from photos, removing ones that no longer were relevant to my life, things like that. Also, think about the real estate that you have on your profile. So the banner, it's real estate. You can put some advertising up there. Tell people what you're doing. If you're looking at affiliate marketing, tell them about that. By all means, check out my profile. Just go to facebook.com/jguard4. That's my user. Have a look at that as an example. So content, it all starts with how you're framing yourself. And there's something called the RVL formula, which has been around for a little while. I don't actually know who coined the phrase originally. All it stands for, and it gets, this is just overview surface stuff, by the way. You can get into some pretty deep stuff when it comes to producing content that gets inside the minds of your prospect, which, if we've got enough time, you guys want to learn about it, I will go into that stuff at another time. But as an overall starting point, think about it like this. RVL stands for results, value, lifestyle. So let's start with the end part, lifestyle. You'll want to put out content that is images of yourself, of your family, of your travels, of things you've done in your life. And the reason why is because it builds the know, like, and trust factor with your audience. And if you put out content that reveals a little bit about yourself, it shows you're like me, got crazy hands, so it shows your mannerisms. It shows a little bit of who you are. If you're a funny person, then it shows a bit of your comedy, things like that. And that builds that connection with your audience. And the next part about it is value. And so a lot of people are thinking, I don't know anything about anything. I don't know anything about affiliate marketing. And that's not true. You know something that can help someone else out. If you know what affiliate marketing is, which, by the way, for anyone that is new to this stuff, it quite literally is selling someone else's product and receiving a commission for doing so. It's no different than, say, someone selling a car in the offline world, or selling a house and receiving a commission for doing that. It's just done online, and instead of, that type of exchange, you just send a link to someone. If they buy after they've clicked on your link, you will get remunerated. That's affiliate marketing. So now that you know that, maybe that's something that you can put out there. That's a piece of value. And as you get further and further into this, maybe going through this particular video, you might learn that I can get started without funnels. So then you can create content on that, start dismantling those false beliefs people have about needing all this stuff to get started, about the complexity and why it's not actually complex at all. It just gets made to seem complex. And so you start putting out value. And if you look at it, the way that I view this is, on one side, you've got people's perfect life. That's, earning as much cash as they could ever need, more time with their family, more time with their children, location freedom, et cetera, et cetera. On the other side, they've got where most people are, which is in a job that they don't love, not feeling fulfilled, not getting what they want out of life. And if you look at those two polarities, you start reverse engineering back to where most people are. Now, of course, you may well be more further to that side than that side, so you're not going to know all those steps. But what you are going to do is, every time you take a step closer to that, you're going to be able to bring people with you on your journey through what you've learned, through how you frame it, through being able to help dismantle those limiting beliefs, through objection handling in your content, all that sort of stuff. And the last part about it is results, because you need to somehow work out a way to create a sense of credibility with yourself. If you don't have credibility, then no one's going to buy from you. It's as simple as that. So these three things need to be in place before a transaction is going to take place. So results doesn't necessarily need to be sales results. No one has those to start with, by the way. But they can be things that you've achieved in your life. Talk about what you've done. Talk about winning the 2 Comma Club Award. Talk about being in the industry for 10 years. Talk about the setbacks that you've had along the way and the learning curves that you've had on the back of that. Talk about the things that you've picked up from your offline world. Talk about your promotions, like all that stuff to build that credibility. And of course, this is an overarching surface view. You can get into the nth degree with this. This is ideally going to be a shorter video than that. So then ideally what you want to do is connect with people that are interested in the same products and programs that you're involved in. And I guess the first part about this whole thing, by the way, is you need a program. You need something to promote that can serve other people, that helps them out, that teaches them stuff that they're keen and willing and able to be part of. And if you'd like to learn more about that, I'm going to leave a link below to give you guys a bit of an insight into what I do and how I help my students, whether that's of interest to yourself. And that, like I say, that's a starting point. But pick a product. Don't necessarily need to get too choosy on that in the initial stages. It's really about, I guess, gaining some sort of momentum. Done is better than perfect is a doctrine that we use. Yeah. So anyway, go into groups and pages that are relevant to the product and the industry that you're looking to get into. And you start adding friends, and you want to reach out to them. And it can be really casual. You don't necessarily need to be salesy. It can just be, hey, it's great to connect. See that you're based in, I don't know, Idaho. Never been there myself, but seems interesting. What are you up to online lately? Just real casual. And you ideally want to have a diagnostic process, because the reality is that you are not going to be able to sell absolutely everyone that you connect with. In fact, a lot of people will be not your target demographic, and that's completely fine. But diagnosing whether you can actually serve them or not is going to help you get to that point. So ideally, you want to get to the point where you're starting to add around about 50 friends per day. And I'm just going to pause on this one for a second, because a lot of pundits out there are now saying that you don't need to add friends, you don't need to go out there and do that. And I know that there's other ways of doing things. I know that you can leverage things like your group once you build one up. But again, guess what? You're going to have some sort of membership of your audience. People are going to have to see you somehow. So you have to crunch that to start. There's no other way of getting around it. And I think that the people that are teaching otherwise, I don't think it's the right way to go personally. Anyway, you also want to be reaching out to around about 20 people per day, because you can leverage your content to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you in terms of the selling process. But if you are combining that with a messenger strategy that reaches out to people, you're going to get faster results. It's as simple as that. So ideally, you want to be mixing these three up. Put out a bit of content, adding some friends, reaching out to around about 20 people per day. Hey, how's it going? Like I say, saw you based in blah, blah, blah. How's it going over there? Good. Oh, cool. What are you up to anyway? Sweet. Cool. Just stopping in. Can't stay right now, but I'd love to connect, and I'll hopefully see you around. Doesn't have to be salesy. Also, little caveat, 50 friends per day, it feels like a lot, but you build up pretty quick and you become more efficient at choosing that. You can accept inbound friend requests as well, which does tend to happen once you get into these types of industries. Don't start at 50 friends. You want to build up to that. So maybe do 10 today, 15 tomorrow, 20, blah, blah, blah. Just be mindful that you need to start slow. Right. So in order to simplify this entire process, and like I say, this is without the need for funnels, things like that, you have a daily method of operation. And so you start with content. Like I say, as a starting point, you can put out the RVL formula. Don't stick with that. You're going to evolve. Your content's going to evolve over time as well. But done is better than perfect. Just get something out there, get something moving. Ideally, like I say, you want to reach out to 20 new people per day. And you want to be adding at least 50 friends per day. That's building your audience. And so to give some mathematics behind this, after 1 month, you've now added 1,500 friends. You've now reached out to 600 people. There will be buyers amongst that. It may take a little bit more time in order to extract that value and to see if you can actually serve your community, but there will be buyers amongst that. Kind of powerful. So the next part about it is you need to be asking the buying question. Now, this can be as simple as, hey, if you guys like to learn more about affiliate marketing and how I can help you hit your first $1,000 to $5,000 or $20,000, why not? Go to jgcall.com, check out the free case study. If you'd like to lock in a time to speak with me, there's an option to book a call there as well. It can be as simple as that. That's an offer. Another one could be, hey, if you guys would like to learn more about affiliate marketing, check out my group at facebook.com/groups/Jamie G online. So these are offers. This isn't specific buying questions, but I'm doing the audience building stuff right now. I'm trying to get you guys over to other places, and that way you can start seeing more of my content, things like that. But it can also be in Messenger. Hey, how'd you go with that link that I sent? It can be via email once you get to that point. It can be through your story posts in, say, Facebook, for example. Who wants my quick formula on how to do blah, blah? It's only $7 or $20 or whatever. You also want to do some engagement. So you need to give first. And what you're leveraging here is called the law of reciprocity. It's this idea that you're going out there, you're giving first, and people will inherently want to reciprocate that. It's called the law of reciprocity. So how do you do that? You jump on your phone or your computer, and on Facebook in particular, you scroll down your newsfeed and you heart and you comment on people's content, as long as it's relevant and recent. That's the two caveats on that one. And you might write a relevant comment to that content that they put out. And so if you imagine this as like you dotting yourself all over Facebook's map, dot 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 dot. So what's going to happen is people are going to see you more often, and then they're also going to see more of your content. So then you're going to get more comments and likes and all that sort of stuff on your content, and then you have social proof. Because when someone stumbles upon your profile and you've got like 100 likes and 100 comments, people are like, okay, this person seems legit. And ironically, that actually pushes your content out to more and more people. So it has a snowball effect on the basis of that. Pretty cool stuff. Right. Like I said, this was done for a coaching student a little while ago. Nothing specific here, but the homework that I gave them was clean up your profile, add some lifestyle to show that you're an actual human. Have a think about your customer avatar. Customer avatar, by the way, just means that who can you serve? Based on your life experience, where you are in life in general, who can you serve in your community? How can you help them out? Who's your perfect customer? Have a think about that, even in loose terms. And it changes over time. They may manifest in different ways. It just gives you an idea of who you can help. Okay. Next part about it is with the offer that you've got. And like I say, if you'd like help choosing one, go to jgcall.com and feel free to lock in a time with myself. I can help you choose a few things. Or alternatively, click the link below for more info. And so with your offer, imagine that there's 100 affiliates, they're all promoting the same thing. So then the question is, okay, if everyone's got their link and they're just giving links away, how do you differentiate yourself from every other affiliate out there? So 3 real basic things you can do to elevate the perception of value of someone buying through you. Number 1 is you want to add a couple of bonuses. Now, a bonus can be as simple as a check sheet, a checklist of what you do. Maybe you model something like this here, the DMO, direct daily method of operation. Maybe you model something like that, and then you add that as a bonus. Maybe you have a specific way that you can save time doing specific tasks. Maybe you've developed a spreadsheet. Maybe you have a Trello board. There's all these things that you can put together that are now elevating that perception of value of buying that thing through you. You also want to offer some support, especially if it's a high ticket product, because human nature is one of the buying triggers is we like to have a minimization of risk when we are purchasing stuff. And of course, you can't control the cart page. You can't control what the vendor does. They might not have guarantees or warranties or refund policies or anything like that nature. But people don't want to feel like, especially if they buy a high ticket item, they don't want to feel like, cool, I'll just spend a couple of $1,000 and then this person's just leaving me alone. They need to feel like you're supporting, like you're there for them, that you can help them out. Okay. You also want to unpack the offer. Now, all this means is that you go through the sales material, you go through the modules of the program that you're part of, and you start thinking about the key benefits of being part of that offer. And they could be anything like, you're going to get this mindset shift. You're going to learn the insider secrets to extracting value from your audience at will. You're going to learn this, blah, blah, blah. Not the features. No one gives a shit about, it's got 100 modules. Each one's an hour and a half long. Like that starts flying into the logical brain, and you want to stick into the emotional brain when people are making buying decisions. So those 3 things there are massive in terms of differentiating yourself. So now imagine still 100 affiliates. Everyone else is just throwing their link around, and here you are offering these 3 very unique things that all of a sudden has uplifted the perception of value of buying through you. Hopefully that makes sense. Alrighty. Let's get rid of that one. No, let's get rid of that one. Still getting used to this technology. Cool. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Any questions on the back of that? Can't see anything popping through. Awesome. Anyway, look, I'm going to leave a link below to a couple of things. As I mentioned, jgcall.com. I'll leave a link to that. I'm going to leave a link to Haps if you'd like to check that out. Like I say, it's a pretty cool streaming service and connects to a whole bunch of things. You also get paid from the community members as well, which is pretty exciting stuff. So anyway, on that note, my name's Jamie. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to hit that subscribe button if you're tuning in via YouTube. I'll drop a lot of content on the basics of affiliate marketing and how you can start scaling things up eventually as well. All that being said, appreciate you guys. See you next time. Thanks very much.